Hey everyone, I'm back and today we're going to be talking about Terminator Salvation. And this movie came out in 2009. And I remember seeing this movie in theaters and forgetting about it immediately after. Oh god. I'm just going to compare this movie to the other movies really quickly. I think this movie is the best one since the first two, whichever one you prefer. And personally, I don't really have a preference, and I would say it's the best one since then, but that's not saying much. It still isn't good. And the reason why I think this one is probably the best for me is because it's the most competent, I guess. It's not funny bad. It's not irritating constantly, even though there are parts about it that I really don't like. And this movie does have some really bad CGI at points, which I'll get into later. But I'll talk about stuff like that later on. But the reason why I don't think this movie is terrible is because it doesn't offend me in what it's trying to achieve. It's just kind of, in a way, a Terminator fan film in ways. And there's a lot of moments where it's trying to remind you of the first movies. And for me personally, I don't think it works here. I think if those moments were not in the film, then you would have lost nothing, because this movie feels more like a war film, I guess, more than anything else. And the action isn't very good. It's not exciting. I don't care about the characters. This movie has got some good actors in it, but they're not really given anything. Like Christian Bale, he's really trying to bring something to this movie, and I think he's good. It's just that I would say what's holding him back is his character, because his character's got nothing to him. And I like John Connor, the character, in theory. It's just what he does in this movie, I'm not really behind, and I just don't care. And my biggest problem with this movie would be that it's really, really boring, and there's nothing to care about. Sam Worthington, I think he's fine. I don't think he's terrible like a lot of people say. I just found him to be serviceable. He didn't do anything worse than what I've seen him do before, but that being said, he didn't do anything that made him stand out from his other performances that I've seen him do. Bryce Dallas Howard has literally nothing to do in this movie. She's just at the base and talks sometimes, but that's about it. I'm going to do my best to say what I want to without spoiling it, because this can be a big spoiler for this movie. And I'm going to try my best to say what my criticism is without spoiling the movie. So, here goes. As we get to the third act, there's a reveal, and without spoiling anything, it's basically saying that things happened for a reason, but where I take issue with that is that it didn't feel like it was meticulously planned out. It just feels like something that was very coincidental. And that's about all I can say about it without spoiling anything. And another issue I have with this movie is that the Terminators can kill either John Connor or Kyle Reese at any point, but they choose not to. They take Kyle Reese to a factory and, they do something? I have no idea. But they just don't decide to kill him for whatever reason. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. I thought there were some really bad sound design choices. I didn't really notice them until the third act, because there's an action scene where, characters are shooting guns, and for whatever reason, the guns are really quiet. I don't know why, but they're quiet, and when characters are walking around in the music in these scenes, I can hear them just fine. I didn't like the music in this movie. It was just boring and didn't add anything to the movie, which is pretty sad, because the first two movies, The music helps out the film so much, and it's memorable. I have the music for the first two movies in my head right now, just playing, and I can imagine a scene and the music that was used in that scene. But for anything past the second movie, I can't remember a single thing, and that goes along with this movie. I just don't remember a single thing, other than a little theme that was used in the first two movies. And that's about all I have to say about Terminator Salvation. It's not as bad as 3, Genesis, or Dark Fate, but it's not as good as the first two. And what really makes this movie stand out is that it is the most boring out of all of the Terminator films, but at the same time, not the worst thing in the world. It's somewhat watchable. It's not offensively bad. It's not funny bad. It's just bland, and that's just not the kind of movie I want to watch. And you can skip this movie. You don't need to see it. I would say just watch the first two, and after that, just stop. With all that being said, I'm going to give Terminator Salvation a 4 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of Terminator Salvation down below. And my social media links, they will all be in the description down below, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for 2001: A Space Odyssey. I've already reviewed A Clockwork Orange. But until I get my review for 2001: A Space Odyssey up, thank you for watching and have a great day.